Hello and welcome back to our Batman the Animated Series episodes commentary. And today's episode is one called Blind as a Bat. An episode that it's kind of forgettable, but it's interesting because we have another story featuring the Penguin as the villain. So, as usual, let's do our countdown so you can watch this episode with me in your DVD box set or Blu-ray box set or streaming service with Batman the Animated Series. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Give it a play. The Warner Bros. Logo is on the screen. And yes, this is one of the episodes which we have the Penguin as the villain. And in this animated series, in this version of the animated series, we don't have many episodes with Penguin as the villain. At least not main episodes or great episodes with him as the main villain. Considered one of the worst in this show, that is Batman is in my basement, or I got Batman in my basement. It's one that is pretty weak. And then we have some appearances of the Penguin in Almost Got Him. Then we have I forgot the name of the last one, which I commented here, which we have the Penguin returning from the prison and trying to go back to society. I forgot the name of the episode now, but that is a good episode, but not a memorable one. And once again here, we have an episode that is not so memorable, but it's not bad, in my opinion. It has some interesting action. The beginning of the episode, we have Bruce Wayne is making a presentation for the army of a high-tech helicopter created by Wayne Enterprises that has a silent mode, apparently, and can it has a cloaking device that it makes it invisible to the enemy's radars. Plus, it can also be silent, like I said, so it can attack the enemy zone without being spotted, which is a very interesting concept. We don't get to see too many Wayne Tech Enterprises in real life in the show. So this is an example of this technology. Plus, the helicopter also has a infrared vision technology that will be very important for the episode because it can see things in the dark as if it was a blind device, right? And this is what's gonna happen here in the episode. Suddenly, the helicopter loses control and it starts to attack the army people. So somebody is controlling this vehicle and attacking the people around, and some of the army guys, they run into a warehouse and find other they find some pilots actually tied and gagged, and we realize that inside the helicopter, the Penguin and some goons are controlling the aircraft. And he has taken control of the Raven. By the way, I forgot to mention that there is another episode with the Penguin as the main villain, that is the mechanic, right? The episode that he takes control of the Batmobile. And by the way, this is a very common thread or a very common element in the stories with the Penguin in any media, basically, where the Penguin takes control of the vehicles of Batman, right? In the 66 TV show, we have a specific episode where the Penguin takes control of the Batmobile, And then, of course, in Batman Returns, we also have the great scene where he takes control of the Batmobile with Batman inside, which is absolutely fantastic. And here, he does the same, right? I mean, he did the same in The Mechanic. He also took control of the Batmobile, and now he's taking control of the Raven, the aircraft. So it's a very common plot element to use with this character Penguin for some reason, which begs the question: the Colin Farrell version will also do the same. It remains to be seen. But anyway, speaking about seeing, Bruce Wayne got blinded by an explosion that he got too close to. And apparently he will be blind for temporarily, which makes him very angry. And Leslie Tompkins, she patches his eyes and he becomes completely blind. He cannot see. And, he feels frustrated with the situation and he stumbles into things. And outside, the bat signal is on the sky. So who's gonna go to Commissioner Gordon if Batman is out of action or Bruce Wayne is out of action? And this is an interesting element because we also don't get to see too many episodes where Batman has some kind of impediment or something stopping him from getting into action. So this is a very interesting element that can be used in Batman stories. So the Penguin, he wants 100 million for the Raven. So basically he kidnapped the aircraft, and if he doesn't get paid, he will attack some places, right? He will attack the city. Which, it's a clever plan. Simple and clever. Then we get to see these kids in a sports car on the bridge, and the Raven shows up over the bridge and starts to fire against the cables, because it's like a Brooklyn Bridge, right? With the cables holding it. So he starts to fire against these cables and causing mayhem. And then we have this very funny scene where one of the goons that is piloting the aircraft, asks the Penguin if, destroying the bridge is a good idea. Something that happens similarly with Batman Returns when his goon asks, killing kids or killing children is not a bit too... And then the Penguin kills him. And here is basically the same, but the Penguin, again, he shocks the guy. So, and then we see Leslie Tompkins becoming kind of a Lucius Fox, basically, because she builds a helmet device for Batman with the technology of the infrared. So I'm not sure how this technology works. Maybe it will connect to his brainwaves and, become his eyes with the infrared vision. So we see Batman can now see the things around him, but they are all red and shadowy, right? So at least he can have a sight to get back into action, which is very interesting. And this is a very interesting concept, the whole idea of Batman being blind just like a bat. People, it is said that the bats are basically blind. So usually what we see of Batman getting out of action is where maybe his back is broken or, some physical thing, but not something related to his sight. So it's an interesting concept, to be used. Uh, Another interesting thing is that Batman has to charge this helmet, so he uses any device around him in his bat belt or in the Batwing. He connects with a little plug to maintain the helmet's working. Right, of course, he needs to recharge, and then he takes the Batwing and flies around and flies away, um, to get back into action. So in a way, this is a very action-driven episode, and Batman shows up with Commissioner Gordon and the mayor and Bullock to talk with them, and he has this. This is a very interesting look for Batman. He gets these red eyes, bright eyes, right? Which are very cool, in my opinion. Maybe we should get some version of Batman where he has these bright red eyes in the future. Maybe a Batman Beyond or something like that. So anyway, the mayor decides to negotiate with the Penguin, so that the Penguin takes the Raven to a specific area that is in the middle of some factories, and yeah, he will get apparently he will get his $100 million, and one of the goons warns him, "Don't you think this is a trap?" But then the Penguin goes, "Don't worry. By using the Raven, we will know any traps that are planned for us." And this is what happens. He lands on the area, gets to a briefcase, and obviously there's no money. And this is where Batman arrives with the Batwing. Cool Batwing, by the way. One of my favorites. Someday I'm going to make a video about ranking the best Batwings. I already did one with the Batmobiles. It's about time I talk about the Batwings. And the one from this animation is one of the coolest ones. Very much based on the best one from Batman 89, right? So the Penguin tries to escape, and he goes back into the Raven, and basically we have this aerial chase between the Raven and the Batwing. So this is very cool, by the way. We rarely get the chance to see vehicle chases in this show. Plus, I also made a video about about the best chases from Batman live action movies, right? With the Batmobile, of course, and maybe some Bat motorcycle. But you can also watch this video in this channel if you haven't subscribed and followed my videos. And Batman is able to knock the Raven down. The aircraft crashes in the factory area. And the Batman descends with the Batwing to get to the craft, but even though it has crashed, one goon manages to fire the weapons of the Raven against Batman and hits the wing of the Batwing. So we get the scene where Batman has to make a rough landing. He has a system failure and all that stuff. And it's interesting that the whole scene takes place in this huge area of Gotham full of factories with big chimneys and all that stuff. Yeah, so Batman is trying to take hold of his aircraft, and he cannot see pretty well, right? Because the helmet, again, he sees only shadowy figures, so he sees only shadowy silhouettes of the factory buildings. And plus, with the system failure of the Batwing, the battery of the helmet becomes very low. So yeah, he starts to have problems, and he is able to land the Batwing and has to run away from yeah, he has to run away from the craft because it explodes. So it's the first time we have the Batwing getting destroyed in this show. Maybe the only time, as far as I remember. I don't remember if except for the mechanic, the Batmobile was pretty much wrecked in that episode. But here, we actually get to see the Batwing getting completely destroyed. And now Batman has big problems because when he left the Batwing and jumped out of it, the cable got damaged because he didn't have time to pull it from the panel properly. So he destroyed the cable and he cannot connect it with the battery of his belt. So now he's basically blind again, and he starts to stumble into things, trying to find the hideout, which is inside the factory. And the Penguin notices this. So he now he will start to play mind games with Batman inside the factory. And Batman has to count on his senses now to maneuver inside the factory, right? And so we see him trampling and falling and not being able to plan a counterattack against the Penguin. So it's a cool scene. Again, this last 10 minutes of episode is very action driven. That's why it's not a terrible episode. It's just pretty much forgettable. Yeah, and usually I like this kind of episodes as just, simple stories with action. And so he fights one of the goons. Again, not being able to see the helmet still works a little bit, and shows him, from moment to moment it shows him his vision, but is definitely becoming completely out of charge. So he's able to knock one of the goons, but the thing then completely turns off. So now he's screwed. And the Penguin, realizing that, he goes, "What the hell is?" The face of the Penguin in this ending is great. Like, he's not understanding what's happening with the guy. He's stumbling into things by himself, and he makes this funny face of confusion. But he gets it that Batman is blind, so he starts to throw things around and mess with Batman's senses. And he says, "Your aim appears to be a little off now, Batman." This is cool, right? Because it gets the fights in equal level, right? So we all know Penguin is not a physical villain. So he needs to have an advantage against it. And once again, Batman tries to find a way out, and he stumbles into things all the way through, and then he almost falls into this. I will suppose this molten steel factory. So there is this lava kind of substance, a river of lava below, just like Terminator 2, or like in the third episode of the show, with the Joker, the last laugh. It's a very similar idea. So Batman realizes that above him there are some pipes with water. So he releases this water into the molten steel, and that causes a lot of smoke, which and the smoke causes the Penguin to cough, which gives him his position. So Batman immediately knows where the Penguin is. He descends upon the Penguin and knocks him, and and ties him by the wrists. So he manages to win. It's a good ending, very good. And then we get back to the mansion. Bruce Wayne has he gets unpatched by Leslie Tompkins, and there is this suspense. Does his vision come back or not? And surely it did. And the first thing he sees is the newspaper with the Penguin back behind bars. So this is it. Blind as a Bat. Hey, okay episode, but another one featuring the Penguin. So it's cool. Thank you so much. If you are watching the videos here in the channel, if you are liking the BATGUS contents, please don't forget to leave a like in this video, and of course your amazing subscription, so we can keep talking about Batman and DCU universe in this channel. All right? See you in the next Bat video, and bye-bye.